We've been working on the Accuwrap positioning system for over 10 years. And as we started getting into the design of positioning the washers around the shape of a car, we learned that there were some geometry issues. A lot of manufacturers make the driver's side wrap shorter than the passenger side. And the argument is that side of the vehicle doesn't vary as much, so they don't need as much length on that arm in order to get it to adjust as much to the size of the driver's side of the vehicle. What we've learned is that when you make that arm shorter, in order to clear the front corner of the car, you have to move the bearing mounted to the frame on the primary arm away from center line. As you move that bearing away from center line, it causes that wraparound to drop off on the driver's side rear of the vehicle. So the driver's side rear of vehicles was not cleaned as well as the passenger side. That led us into laying out in CAD a wraparound, and we looked at cars and trucks and came up with all new geometry for our wraparounds. And the geometry is mirrored between the driver's side and passenger side because we want to wash the rears of vehicles equally as well with both sets of wraps, not just the passenger wrap. So in our wraparound, we made a lot of changes. One, it's all stainless steel. It's completely freestanding, so as you build it and you put the legs underneath the equipment, you don't have to worry about the frame falling over before you anchor it to the floor. We moved into 3 high-density plastic blocks, which allows, one, for a lot longer service intervals. We don't want to have to change these bearings for at least 600,000 cars. We also don't want to have to take the washer down, disconnect the hydraulics, drop the whole primary arm down, replace 2 bearings and put it back up. The 3 bearing design allows us to change any one bearing at a time while the other 2 bearings hold the washer in place. So we have a lot of surface area to distribute the load. We have 3 different bearings holding it, and any one bearing can be changed at any time. We also had issues with how the wrap shaft was held into bearings. Typically, 2 bearings are placed back to back. The top bearing holds all the weight of the washer. The bearings are too close together, which leads to quicker wear. So we've threaded the shaft, we've separated the bearings and moved to a heavy-duty bearing, and we have both bearings holding the load of the washer. So again, this is to improve service intervals, to provide a more reliable solution, and we also made it very easy to access the bearings and to change them when it is time to do that. We've also have the ability to restrict the range of movement of the washer. So I can control separately how far the washer will move with the car on the front or flex around on the back. I can also control how far it's going to swing across the rear of the car before it slows down or stops. And I can control how far away from the car it'll flex. So we built a lot of user configurability into the wraps based on how you really want to make the wraps perform.